My intuition is telling me there'll be better days.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be something that I have been dealing with, well, I was going to say recently, but that's not true, almost my entire life. And I'm sure a lot of you have, if not all of you, have also dealt with it. And that is the pressure to be in a relationship. Society's pressure on women in particular, and to make them feel like if they're not in a relationship, there is something completely and utterly wrong with them. Like it's a crime. It should be punishable by law. And I'm sure if it was up to men, it would be. And I want to talk about my personal experience with it and just why this belief is so wrong and how it can prevent you from being the best possible version of yourself, how it can actually harm you and your relationships. And I'm also going to talk about a few ways you can deal with society's pressure to be in a relationship if you're single, and how to try and not let it affect you. So if you're interested in hearing about that, and yeah, then keep on watching. And if you do like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Alright, so I want to start out by reading this quote that I just really love, and it is, "Single is no longer a lack of options, but a choice. A choice to refuse to let your life be defined by your relationship status, but to live every day happily and let your ever after work itself out." And that is by Mandy Hale. Like, when did it become a crime to be single? Like, honestly, for so much of my life, the majority of my time and energy and focus was spent looking for a relationship if I wasn't in one, and if I was in a relationship, that putting all my energy and focus into that relationship and that person. And a lot of it is pressure from society, and a lot of it is a fear of being alone. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be in a relationship. Like, we're here on earth to build relationships and connections with other human beings. But the problem starts when your desire to be in a relationship is fueled by the discomfort of being with yourself. The desperation for another person is only going to cause havoc in your life. And that was my problem. I was uncomfortable being alone. I didn't like myself, and I didn't like being with myself. And that's where a big part of my constant desire and my desperation to be in a relationship came from. And when I was younger, like, I was in relationships basically my whole life, and then if a relationship would end, my time would just be spent to looking for my next relationship. And when you're like so desperate for something, you're not gonna make the right choices. I wasn't going into relationships with men because they were making me a better person, or we were compatible in every way. It was because I felt I needed to be in a relationship, and I was so afraid of being alone. And there was a study, women are more likely to put up with abusive behavior than men are in relationships, and women are more likely to stay with cheating men than men are to stay with cheating women. And it's because women feel the pressure to stay because of the fear of being alone and the shame it might bring. And I experienced this so much in my life. From family, my mom, my grandma, "Oh, are you dating anyone? Okay." And then every time they see me, "Oh, are you still talking to this person, this person?" And then if I say no, I feel like there's something wrong with me. And the past few years of my life that I have spent single, I mean, I've dated here and there. I want to be with someone, but I'm not going to settle for the wrong person. I'm not going to be in a relationship just to be in a relationship like I would have when I was younger. I know what I want. I know what my values are. I know who I am. And I am not defined by a relationship. And I'm not going to sacrifice my values and my self-worth just to be accepted by society and by my family and, my peers. There, a girl I work with, we were talking about the schedule or something, and maybe talking about switching days, and she was like, oh, well, what's your husband's schedule like? I'm like, I don't have a husband. She's like, you don't? She's like, I swore you told me you had a husband. I was like, no, never said that. And it was like, people just expect women, especially after you've hit 30, to be married. And it's like, that expectation is so strong that she like projected this husband onto me that I don't even have. And when I was recently on vacation with my friends, all my friends are in relationships, and we were at the club one night, and there was this guy who was like, kind of checking me out, and I'm like, okay. And so when he finally, came over and talked to me, I just got like a weird vibe from him. And my like intuition about people when I first meet them, I value that very highly. I'm a very intuitive person, and the way someone makes me feel is very important to me. And if I get a vibe that that I don't like from someone, then I'm going to listen to my intuition. And one of my friends was like, what happened? What was wrong? And I was like, I just didn't feel it. And he was like, you don't want a man. And like, that really hurt me for a second, because I was like, do I not want a man? Like, is that my problem? And it's just like, no, like, I shouldn't feel guilty about not being interested in someone if they're not 100% the right person for me. And because of that, I mean, not solely because of that, but that had a large part to do with, I started dating someone recently, and I met them on vacation, and it was kind of like I was trying to prove to my friend that I do want a man, but I was dating this person who I knew wasn't the right person for me. I was trying to force myself to have feelings for this person when it just wasn't there. And that is just so wrong. It's going against everything I believe. And what really kind of sparked me wanting to do this video was I was talking to someone else, and they wanted to meet up for coffee, and I was like, oh, I can't this weekend. The person I'm dating is going to be coming to visit me. And he was like, oh, congratulations. I'm like, congratulations for what? He's like, oh, dating someone. I got pissed. I'm like, why are you congratulating me? This is what is wrong with society. We are making women feel like they're not worthy if they're not in a relationship. Why aren't we congratulating the women who have the confidence to be by themselves and to wait for the right person? So I'm saying congratulations to all the women who are out there, who are single, who are taking the time to find themselves, to know what they value, and to know what they want in a partner, and to not settle for anything less than that. Because society is making you feel like there is something wrong, inherently wrong with you, when that's not the case. Getting into a relationship shouldn't be dictated by a feeling of inadequacy. And that's what happened with me. I felt inadequate because I wasn't in a relationship, and that was driving me to be in a relationship that wasn't right for me. And so I found these 3 questions when, trying to figure out if someone is right for you. Whether you're single or in a relationship, this will apply. So the 3 questions are number 1, are you happy? Are you happy in this relationship? Or are you happier telling everyone else you're in a relationship so you can feel socially accepted? Number 2, does the relationship help you grow as a person? When, I was younger and I just felt like I had to be in a relationship, these relationships were not helping me grow as a person. They were very toxic. And, these people were dragging me down, and they were doing the opposite of helping me grow. So I definitely, when I'm looking for someone to be in a relationship, I want the relationship to help me grow as a person. And number 3, does the relationship make you the best version of yourself? I don't want my partner to complete me or feel like I'm not whole without them. I want a relationship to make me want to be the best version of myself. And so that's something else that I am looking for when I am dating someone, to see if I'm going to be in a relationship. Do they make me want to be the best version of myself? The problem that a lot of this is we've forgotten, or we've never known how to enjoy our own company. And taking the time to be by yourself, just be by yourself, not, actively pursuing a relationship, and really getting to know yourself, that has been the most transformational thing I've ever done. I would not take that time back for anything. It has made me the person I am today, and it has made me a strong person. It's made me a confident person. It's made me someone who loves themselves and who knows what they want in life. This pressure to be in a relationship is from, our patriarchal society, who want women to be in relationships and to have children, so they're not, following their dreams and following their goals and having a life of their own, where, their own needs are put first, and, they have goals. And, so many women have careers now, but I know, at least for me, a big part of me getting a career was to be more appealing to the opposite sex, to find someone to be in a relationship with. It wasn't for me. And then once I really learned about myself and who I was and what I wanted, I have these goals now that are authentically me, that make me happy, and that I'm pursuing for no one else but myself. And so now, if I'm dating someone, I'm taking time out of making YouTube videos, doing things that I enjoy, and that's not something that I want to do for just anyone. It has to be the right person. And so many women go throughout their lives not taking the time to be by themselves, to be comfortable with themselves alone, and to really get to know who they are. We're conditioned from a young age to be in a relationship. How old were you when you were in your first relationship? I was 14. And then from then on, it was just relationship to relationship to relationship. So I got married when I was young. What if I had still been married now? I had stayed in that relationship knowing it wasn't right, and never would have taken the time to get to know myself. I would never have my channel right now. I would never be doing a lot of the things I'm doing now. And I just think that self-discovery is so, so important. And a lot of the times, it's not love we're chasing, it's social acceptance. We feel like we should be married by a certain age. We should have a career by a certain age. We should have children by a certain age. And You know, it doesn't matter who the person is. We're just looking for someone to fit that role. It's not about the person. It's about the role they're playing and the image we are portraying to the outside world. So how do we deal with this pressure, especially, you know, if you're single, this pressure to be in a relationship? Because even though I'm embracing being single and am enjoying being by myself, it's hard to not let that pressure affect me, you know? And so one way is, you know, stop identifying with your relationship status. Who I am as a person has nothing to do with being in a relationship or not. I'm going to be the same person, single or with someone. And you are not the relationship. You are your own person. And the crazy thing is, you are the only person who's going to be with you your entire life. But we spend so much time running from ourselves and trying to find someone else to make us feel complete or to help us know who we are. But how is someone else going to help you know who you are? You are the only one that can do that. Another way is to know your worth, to know your self-worth. And your self-worth doesn't come from external sources. It doesn't come from relationships or your career or whether you have a family or not. It's something that is internal, intrinsic, and has to come from within. Another way is just to know that if you're single, doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means you haven't met the right person. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is so much better to be single than to be in a relationship with the wrong person. If you have been in a relationship with the wrong person, you know that it can be lonelier in a relationship with the wrong person than it can be to be single. And, you know, just look at some relationships around you that are unhealthy and they're not happy. Another way is to just rise above the collective conditioning of our society and know that, you know, people are judging you for being single or making you feel less than. It's their own issues. They're projecting their own false beliefs onto you. You shouldn't let anyone else dictate your life. They don't have to deal with these things every single minute like you do. This is your life. Do not let anyone else dictate how you live it. Another way is to stop glorifying relationships. You know, we glorify relationships when there are so many of them that are unhealthy. Yes, there are healthy relationships out there, but, you know, we have a tendency to glorify relationships and think that all of our problems are going to be solved if we're in a relationship, and that is not the case. Those problems will still be there, and you'll most likely have some more problems. I mean, you could also have really great experiences, but a relationship is going to bring its own set of, you know, issues. And just stay true to yourself. Respect your values and your standards, and don't let anyone else make you lower your standards just so you feel accepted or have a date to a Christmas party or a wedding, you know? And I know it's hard. Holidays, it seems like everything, you know, it's always couples. And it can be hard sometimes, but once you build your self-esteem, you have the confidence to know that you're not going to risk your integrity just to be in a relationship, that you're being true to yourself. Alright guys, let me know what you think about this topic, or if you've had any personal experiences with, you know, society's pressure to be in a relationship or to have kids or to have a certain career or anything by a certain age. Let me know in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time.